work on that. Yay! More things.
It's a look of concern on your face.
Yeah, it means that I gotta start doing lots of things.
This is the biggest bite we've chewed off so far.
It's like we finally get things organized and then we buy more things and then we have to just keep doing it over and over and over again.
This is all the stuff that's going to turn all of that into something much, much nicer. Hopefully. We're going to be reusing a bunch of stainless steel and hopefully I can make it all go together and be the right shape. I don't know. No going back now.
This week on SailAway. You may remember that up to this point, the only protection we had in the cockpit was a simple two-bow bimini. It was undersized, poorly designed for this style of boat, and very beat down, and insufficient under way or at anchor. This week, it's all coming off.
She looks so naked. She is French.
But none of it is going to waste. Using every bit of the old bimini frame and repurposing some other unused stainless on the boat.
So theoretically, we've got the exact length we need to get 2 supports out of this.
We intend to build a vastly improved and much larger cockpit awning. It'll take some cutting, some creative bending, and some new hardware and additional stainless. Not to mention a little help from some good friends. But our goal is to complete the entire project, including sewing the cloth covering and a dodger, for under $2,000.
Ever wish you could escape normal life and experience more of the world?
So maybe on that island.
Well, we did just that. We sold everything we owned on dry land and sailed away.
Promise me that we'll sail away.
Now we are roaming the planet in search of new adventures and sharing it with you every week.
Just promise me that we'll sail away.
So hit subscribe and escape normal with us.
And I'll be yours forevermore.
Come on, it's just that little button down there. That's it.
This thing got a screw and a nut in it that I had to put in there just to make it fit somewhat decent. Well, folks, this is one of those things where we don't really know how it's going to go. But we've got a very basic plan, and that is to get rid of this, take all these parts apart, and then I've got a design in my head and kind of on paper to rebuild all this stainless plus a bunch more we have into a much better top. So this is all totally winging it. We've not seen anybody do anything like this. Hopefully there's no reason for that.
This is our most ambitious project on this boat to date, and definitely the one we've been looking forward to the most. Just because the looks and protection of the old bimini was so bad.
Makes me pretty happy just to take it off there.
I know, it's so nice. Are you gonna take off the bars too?
Yeah. I should be able to put it all back together in the next hour or so.
Yeah, perfect.
Having a new frame and awning professionally made, or even doing a DIY hardtop, are just too costly for us at the moment. But I've had other ideas about how to do it on the cheap almost from the moment we first saw the boat. I was very happy to get it out of my head and attempt it in real life.
Alright, there we go. Whole thing is gone now. She looks so naked. She is French. Now the interesting part is I've got to sort of reshape all this metal somehow. I don't really know how to do that exactly. The primary plan is to take the 2 large bows, there's one right there, one right here on the bottom, form those into a big rectangle. That'll mean joining them end to end so that it's the right size from here to there. And then it needs to be wider, so we'll be cutting right in the middle and putting an extension in the middle of both of them. These two pieces are still going to be crossbows, but they need to be flat, more flat like this. They need just a real gentle bow in them like that. That's what I want. Then those get attached to the rectangle. So we've got a big rectangular piece with supports over the top for the cloth. And then this whole thing will mount with feet up on the top of the cabin. And we're going to be repurposing this big antenna thing, which we don't need at all. And that's going to be a bitch to get out of there. That is going to be cut down and reused as the mounting poles on the corners back here. Like I said, I've never done this, and I don't particularly know if anybody has, so who knows how this is going to come out, or how hard is it going to be to get it to come out the way I want it. Got to get it done before we get off the dock, though, because I need to be able to lay this stuff out. And that's another big reason we're here. I've been doing some cutting, and I've been doing some bending. And this right here is my bending device. A piece of pipe. Two of them. Slid in small increments up and down the piece that you want to straighten out or bend. Locked into a dock cleat. Does a pretty good job. And then there's also the big bends, which Lauren's going to help me with. You ready? Show them how we do this. We're going to try to keep this straight up and down and gently bend it this way. A little bit. Let's see if we can get some more.
I was really happy to find out that this bending method would work. I'd done something similar on one single piece of stainless way back on our boat Layla, but this turned out to be a full day of straightening and bending just to get all the pieces to fit up right.
Looking at pretty much the footprint of it. Footprint, is that really right? Ceiling print. These will have one of the extra spans built into it to widen it where we want it. And then this distance here is right about 8 feet. And so we're cutting these down right in the middle. So I got some cuts to make here. And then it's time to start joining up all these pieces.
Way back in December, I had already placed a $1,200 order with SailAway for some additional lengths of stainless tubing, some hardware, and all the cloth, zippers, etc. for Lauren to sew the top. This order was done pretty lightly, knowing that as the design filled out and the project progressed, we'd almost definitely need more stainless and pieces parts to make it work. And being on a dock in the US, we could always order more stuff and have it there within a few days.
It's quite subtle. Well, we've got one bow put together, and so the collars are pretty rigid. I think they will do the trick that we want them to do. So, basically what I'm doing, sliding these collars into place. Where's my other piece? That's right here. Finding the curve of this one. These, putting on the side, drilling into the metal just enough that these are little set screws, and like all set screws, they got sort of a point to them, so that's got a nice divot to like dig into. I'll probably put thread locker on all these, and just see how sturdy it feels. If it feels suspect at all, we'll just drill all the way through and put screws in. This is just me putting things together to see if I'm nuts and if this is gonna work or not. So far, prognosis is pretty good.
Bet you're nuts?
Yes.
Okay.
Clearly. been a lot of finagling, jerry-rigging, fudging, but it's taking shape. It looks a lot less like a whole bunch of old stainless parts and a lot more like an awning. Currently, I've only got fittings for 2 legs, but the more I'm thinking about how this structure supports the weight, I think I'm gonna do 4. And then the back legs will be right about there and there. We'll probably get it up here and see how it fits first, and then figure that out. We got a beautiful sunset. We got an awning that's hit me in the head like a dozen times already because we didn't know where else to put it. And then we got this freighter coming in, which is gigantic.
What are you doing?
I am figuring out how to get this big pole off the corner of the boat so we can use it for our awning. Pole comes down, it's got a base right there, which comes through back in there, which is, God, it's gonna be hard to reach. And then it also attaches right down here at the bottom. Ooh, it's kind of brisk today. A little bit foggy and windy and kind of grody. Hopefully it doesn't rain on me while I'm doing this. I'm gonna have a big old hole in the boat pretty soon.
Such a good angle.
This is literally as far as I can reach. So whoever installed these had very long arms also.
That we do, sir.
I'd had my eye on this pretty impressive piece of stainless for the back legs for quite some time. The looks of it on the back corner of the boat always kind of bugged me, and we just don't have a use for the antennas it was designed to hold. But it's far too valuable not to find a use for it.
Okay, so what have we got? We've got 98 inches, and if my calculations are correct, we need about 48 inches for our rear supports. So theoretically, we've got the exact length we need to get 2 48-inch, technically 49-inch supports out of this. I'm gonna cut this off right here, and we'll just see. We'll see what it looks like. And if that length is not tall enough, then we can't get it out of this anyway. Because we can't really go below this base plate, because even if we were to break this weld, it's going to look pretty bad. So I think that's our absolute longest we can get out of it. Should be the right height. And we'll have the edge of our awning come down here, kind of angle up toward the boom there. And driving, you'll be looking, if you're looking across, you'll be looking straight under it. And then it stops about right here. So you step out to this position right here. Here's the wheel. And you're looking outside of it. You can look up and over it. Yeah, our front edge will be about 14 inches high all the way across, and just follow the arch of the cabin top. And I didn't put as much arch into this aft one because I feel like it looks better, just a little flatter. And then it gives the cloth something to stretch over in both directions. That's my theory. We have not made anything like this before. We've just, you know, had our own experience with canvas on biminis and tops on other boats and kind of how they behave when you put them on and take them off. So We're just guessing. It should be interesting.
Bam.
Yeah.
Wham bam, thank you ma'am.
We don't need mounting posts.
No, we'll just keep it on the boom.
It'll be a rotating. It rotates your shade with your sail position.
Great.
Start to feel it though.
Uh-huh.
Start to get the
vibes.
vibe.
Yeah. You ready?
Are you ready?
Yeah.
We're taking off yet another table. But I gotta go on a boat voyage underneath the boat. Sometimes you gotta go into the land of the lost. We of course waited until the tide was slack or flood. What is it right now? I guess it's flood. No problem. As long as I don't get waked by the crew boat, I should be all right. Just gotta get those and these right here. All right, easy enough. You might need to hold that one. There it goes. You might need some really nice stainless table supports. Not kidding. If you've got a boat project and you need something like this and we can get to you or you can get to us, contact us and we will work something out. Those are nice. I mean, they're awesome.
You could use it anywhere.
Super sturdy. They could go on somebody's deck. They could go on a pontoon boat. They could go on any kind of boat. And you got the little fold-out things for leaves if you want them. Pretty cool. We just don't need 3 tables, let alone 4.
And now we only have 2. Ah, that's amazing.
2's the right number for a non-charter boat. Eventually our plan is to do flexi-teak on all of this and along the back parts of the stern. But until then, we will epoxy these holes closed and put a rug over it.
And forget it's there.
Forget it's there until we clean. This is what I call a shop right here. Good to have friends that know how to weld and have other friends that have a shop like this. And
Great.
This is cool.
And this is what I came
Help
up
us
with.
get this base on there and these 2 arms.
We became friends with Scott and his wife Sam aboard their boat Fruit Bat during our very first season of cruising. Scott's been welding for a few years and Mac here is his mentor. So I took a road trip to Mac's shop in Charlotte for a little assistance.
So we're trying to match the angle of the base on this one.
Yeah, I want to check across.
To that one. So Scott had the idea of clamping the 2 together to get the angle and then lining the poles up parallel. Which seems to be just an idea.
Mac has a wide range of metal shop skills and a huge array of shop goodies. Without his and Scott's help on this part of the project, it would have cost us a nice chunk of change. We can't possibly thank them enough.
How great is it that you just have one of these around? That's awesome.
Did you notice the dust is pretty thick?
Well, you're getting use out of it now. You're welcome. You're gonna be pretty good at this by the time you're done.
No, don't say that. I might suddenly forget how to weld again. Done that a couple times today.
Well guys, it is getting close to that time where I start drilling holes in the boat and screwing this thing down. Don't think there's anything I can do to position it any better than what I've got right now. This is our support pieces here. These are not fixed yet, and there's going to be a bolt that goes straight through there, through bolted. And of course we've got a through bolt the bases here and here. like the first thing that gets screwed down is all of these. And we're at that point where I need to fix the one part that I know is a solid straight line across, and that's that. And once I get that screwed down, then all the rest of this stuff I can sort of adjust perfectly to where like this little crossbar can slide. So I can adjust it a little bit to exactly where it needs to be to line up with this. Get these screwed down, probably second. It'll be ready to strap some cloth to it. It's gonna be awesome. Especially once we get the Dodger on the front there. That will really be the cherry on top. No more rain running down the front, well, running down the back of this entryway here and straight into the cabin and ruining this door. I mean, that's just a design flaw. That's why this door is so rough, because the rain, there's nothing to stop the rain from coming off this top and straight down. There's a tiny little lip here, but it doesn't do anything. But with a nice Dodger up there, we're sitting at anchor, especially sitting at anchor with the wind coming from your nose, from the bow. We don't have to worry about that anymore. When it's raining out here, we can actually walk outside and sit down and just enjoy the rain. Can't freaking wait. I can't wait. Sewing that thing together is going to be challenging, but I have no doubt Lauren can knock it out and make it nice. All right, I'm going to start drilling some holes in the boat.
We ended up extending the awning a couple feet longer toward the stern, which is why you see these new support pieces for the legs to attach to. Just some of the extra parts that wound up added as we went along.
One thing about working with stainless, whether you're drilling or cutting, I learned this a while back, go really, really slow, like high pressure and very slow, because you don't want to heat up the metal, and that is what eats up bits. And if it starts to heat up anyway, you can also use oil to cool it down. This is it's not that thick of stuff, so taking it really slow works just fine. It's time to remove the rope. We're not attached to the bases yet, but we need to see what it's going to do here.
What are you doing?
Yeah, there's nothing.
A dozen bolts, nuts, and fender washers for the leg bases, and the frame was done.
It'll be good.
Part 2 and a whole lot of sewing coming up soon.
Could be.
Oh, there's controllers inside.
Really? I was telling them the whole way back not to expect them to be in there. Look at that.
2. Really 2.
We got here way earlier than promised.
They're little, but they're cool.
I mean, they're controller
And I see
sized.
one more box inside. I see one more box.
Just one. We're still at 2.
Oh, I have it. But I am so lucky too. Whoa. I do not have to get that.
What kind of goodies do we have
I'm
here?
so lucky.
Ah. Way more exciting than game controllers.
What?
Door stops.
Oh.
Not more exciting. What's in here?
I know, it was a joke. Just a
Oh,
daddy joke.
more door stops.
More door stops.